it's Charlie from Daily Motor. And today we've got the sound system demo on the 2023 Volkswagen ID.4 and its 7-speaker audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations. Then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you're tired of hearing the same songs week in and week out, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. I've recorded some members-only sound tests recently. We've been a little behind on them just because I've been really busy, but I've gotten to a few of them, and I recorded a few of the newer member-only tracks here on this car. So if you want to see that and support the channel, check the link below. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. The car will probably shut itself off as we get out because it tends to do that. But here it is, the S version of the Volkswagen ID.4. This thing is a quirky car. It's got some things that are really nice about it and some things that have annoyed me. So if you do want to see more on it, check the link in the description. But it is always nice to be driving around an electric vehicle like this. We do have a range test, which was also a little peculiar. So we'll put the links to all those down in the description. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. I recommend listening with headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear in the driver's seat. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory default, so let's take a look at those now. Pretty new infotainment system here for Volkswagen. I guess it's been out for a few years at this point, but if you haven't driven a Volkswagen from the 2020s, then you might not be too familiar. Let's head over here to get to our sound settings. We're greeted with bass, mid-range, and treble right off the bat. Let's go through those. Below that, you have adjustment for focus, it calls it, but really it's just front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance. You can move the sound focus around there if you will. And then down here in volume, you're going to adjust the volume levels for navigation or startup volume, something I like to have, speed-dependent volume, a bunch of different options there. And that's actually it for sound adjustments. Nothing too crazy here for more of a bass system. For audio controls in the ID.4, you have various haptic methods of controlling things. So you have a volume control right here in the center. You can slide up and down. You can also tap. And then you have a similar control on the right side of the wheel. You can either slide your finger or you can click. I don't like to feel the clicks because every vibration, these aren't real buttons, they're little exciters, if you will, touch sensitive buttons, and they sort of vibrate late. It just feels strange to me, but I don't mind sliding my finger around as long as it's not sweaty. For track selection, similar controls. You have controls right here on the right side of the wheel near volume. Actually, no physical control down here, so you'd have to do that through the touch screen right there, and that's going to be your only way of controlling tracks. For audio inputs in the ID.4, you don't have AM, but you got FM radio as well as Sirius XM, Bluetooth, support for wireless and wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 2 USB ports, USB-Cs, I should say, and that is it. What does that mean you're missing? Well, no AM radio, not a big surprise in an electric vehicle like this. We don't often see AM, but if you do still appreciate news or sports or something from AM radio, you're not going to get that here. No USB-A ports, and no sort of streaming service built in like Spotify or Pandora. It does have an internet radio option, but that's something you got to sign into. I don't think that's going to be your standard default streaming services, if you will. Speaker locations, as I said, this is a 7-speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got a door, kind of mid-range woofer combo there. 1, 2 tweeter, higher end up there. 3 in the center, 4, 5 over on the other side. And then, no big surprises, second row, 6, 7 down in the doors. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff put away, and we're gonna get out on the road. Now, we often don't talk about power figures here at DM Sound because most of the time, wattage doesn't matter. It's not going to affect sound quality. That being said, this system does not sound good at higher volumes. You could hear those drum hits that were coming in, those heavier things, and other parts of earlier tracks that we listened to. When you're listening to it loud, it sounds way off. The harder hits are fading out, and it's causing the rest of the song to be disrupted. That's not what you want when you're listening to louder music. That being said, when you turn it down, things sound pretty well balanced and they come through nicely. But I don't know what the published wattage is for this system. Not good. For this next song, we're going to turn the bass all the way up, see what happens. You hear the other elements of the music are fading out when the heavy bass comes in, and the bass isn't heavy, there's no shakeage happening, I'm not feeling it at all. Not super happy with that situation. Wrapping up my thoughts on the 7-speaker system here in the Volkswagen ID.4. Initially, I was leaning more toward average because the system does sound perfectly fine when you're just cruising along, listening to some tunes. Not a bad system. But when you really crank it up and test its limits, that's when you hear it fall apart. And I compare it to some of the other cars we give C's to, kind of right in the middle, something that's not offensive but not outstanding. I think this is coming below, I really do. Now, keep that in mind. If you're someone who just listens to casual, simple music, it's going to be totally fine for you. But compared to everything else on the market, this is coming in at a high D. It really is. I think of a... What? I didn't say anything. Stop. Go away. Apparently I can't say that letter. It thinks I said the name of the car. I compare it to our Maverick, which I very often think of as a D system, and that doesn't fall apart the way this does when you really crank it up. Yeah, it doesn't sound fantastic, but it keeps its composure better than this. So D is where we're going. If I haven't tested the higher end system in the ID4, might sound quite a bit better. I would hope so. But that's what we're giving this. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the VW ID4, check the link in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.